Eyewitness Weather forecast.
And a very good Memorial Day evening to you, everybody. I'm meteorologist Ron Reed, tracking some pleasant conditions, as you can see behind me. Today was the best looking day of the trio of holiday weekend days, and it looks like that pleasant weather is going to continue as we head through tomorrow, and we'll see a little bit warmer temperatures as well. But as far as the day that we had is concerned, we got up to 69 degrees, which is still a little bit below average of 72, but at least it's not the 40s and 50s with the rain that we had last week. In fact, our normal low is exactly 50 degrees. Our low this morning was still below average by about 10 degrees at 40, and we did have some rain this afternoon as well. Most of that occurring within the last 2 or 3 hours, almost half an inch in downtown Utica. The record high, 93, set back on this date 5 years ago. In 2020, the record low, 36 degrees. Thankfully, we weren't near that this morning either. Right now, we have a lot of clouds. The rain is done within downtown Utica, but because of that, temperature is down to 58 degrees from that 69, and the dew point is pleasant at 50. We have variable winds at 4 miles an hour, and it feels like 58 because of that low dew point. So we're not dealing with a wind chill or a heat index as well. And you can see where we've had that rain-cooled air. Temperatures are in the 50s, like Boonville, Old Forge, downtown Utica, as well as Canjo. But the rest of the area where you haven't seen the rain is still into the lower and middle 60s. We're seeing some of that rain right now. We've got a heavier downpour nearing the Old Forge area right now, and in New Hartford, for those of you that are getting a head start heading out to the parade, you're dealing with a little bit of light rain activity there, but it is sliding to the south. So within the next hour, when the parade itself starts, it should be drying out. You'll see a lot of clouds. I'll have the planner for you in a second. And this area of low pressure was over us for most of the weekend and over most of the last week, rather relentless. It's finally moving up into Atlantic Canada, out of our hair, and we've got some high pressure building in that'll be with us for the day tomorrow. So for tonight, again, as I mentioned, that New Hartford parade starts at 7 p.m. and temperatures by then will be under sunny skies, around 66 degrees, maybe a few clouds here and there. And then as we head through the evening, we'll see mostly sunny to mainly clear skies, with temperatures dropping from the 60s back into the 50s. And then as you'll see here on our Futurecast, we'll drop back into the 40s. And there could be some fog, especially in areas around the Mohawk Valley and the Lake Ontario region, where the dew point and the temperature will be close, but it will be patchy, won't be dense. Most of you won't deal with it. But as we head through the day tomorrow, we'll see temperatures around, if not just a little bit above average, and we'll see increasing clouds, maybe a spotty shower late in the day, but most of the time will be dry. The chance of rain tomorrow just at less than 10%. That changes, though, as we go through Wednesday, with rain returning anywhere from about 3 to 9 p.m. First in the northwest, last to the southeast, so that's when you'll want to avoid mowing. But Tuesday and through most of the day on Wednesday should be okay. Temperatures getting into the mid-70s once again tomorrow, so a couple of degrees warmer than today. And then we've got rain chances right around 40% for Wednesday through Sunday, especially starting Wednesday afternoon, and there could be a few rumbles of thunder on Thursday especially.
And Jordan, for those of the people at home watching right now, thinking about going to that New Hartford parade, would you say that it's a good idea to maybe pack a sweatshirt and a blanket if they're going to go watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, there's a little bit of light shower activity out there right now in New Hartford, but that'll be ending within the next hour, and definitely bring a sweatshirt or a blanket because temperatures will be dropping from the 60s into the 50s.
And probably even an umbrella or a raincoat too.
Yeah, for the first hour at least.
Thank you, Jordan. You're watching Eyewitness News at 6. We'll be
Now, your Eyewitness Weather forecast.
And happy Memorial Day once again. I'm meteorologist Ron Reed, tracking a long-awaited pattern flip that we had over the weekend. Today was actually the best looking day of the weekend, but that's going to change, unfortunately, I hate to tell you, as we go through the next couple of days. But before we get to that, let's take a look at our Memorial Day, the one that we had today, with temperature within 2 degrees of where we should be at this time of year. We should be around 72. Today we were at 70, so 2 degrees below average, and that average low 50 degrees, so we were a full 10 degrees below that, but still much closer to average than where we were last week, when we were a good 15 to 20 degrees below average in both departments. And we did have a good bit of rain this afternoon, nearly half an inch in downtown Utica, most of that occurring between about 3 and 6 p.m. this afternoon. And that record high, 93 degrees 5 years ago, believe it or not, in 2020, and then the record low, 36 degrees, obviously not anywhere near that, or within a couple of degrees of it, but we obviously weren't there. But as far as tonight is going, we are going to see the clouds coming to an end. Same thing for those shower and thunderstorm chances that any of you may have out there. And then tomorrow will be dry with temperatures in the middle 70s, which is just around or above where we should be for this time of year. It's kind of the opposite of what we had today. But unfortunately, as I mentioned a second ago, showers do return once we get to Wednesday afternoon. I'll time that out for you in a second. But right now in downtown Utica, it is mainly clear with a temperature of 52 degrees. And we have calm wind. Dew point is 51. So that means that in the Mohawk Valley and close to Lake Ontario, you may see some patchy fog during the overnight hours with that dew point and that temperature being so close. But as opposed to a few hours ago, we're not seeing any more of that shower and thunderstorm activity. As I just mentioned, you can see that kind of fizzling here over the last 6 hours, and that pesky storm system that we dealt with for most of last week and over the weekend has departed up into the northern Atlantic. But these clouds down to our south, those will return to our area as we head through tomorrow afternoon because of our next storm system that'll head our way Wednesday and into Thursday as well. So overnight tonight, we'll see temperatures down into the 40s, so they'll be a little bit on the chilly side. Tomorrow, we'll get into the lower and middle 70s, maybe upper 60s for some of you as well. And then we'll see an increase in clouds late in the afternoon. There could be a spotty shower or sprinkle, but most of the time will be dry. The rain doesn't get going until we get into Wednesday. Wednesday, we'll start the day with more clouds than sun, and then we'll see that rain returning around or after 3 p.m., just depending on where you are. Temperatures upper 60s to lower 70s. And then, as I mentioned, we'll see that rain returning around 3 to 5 p.m., just depending on where you are on Wednesday. So tomorrow, it looks like the best day to get your mowing in. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday looking a little bit rough. Thursday looking like the roughest day with some thunderstorms moving in. And Friday looking pretty wet as well. And then as we go through the weekend, close out the month of May and welcome the month of June, we'll be doing so on a cool note. But then we'll be seeing clouds and sun returning to kick off the month of June on Monday.
Well, we couldn't keep the good weather around for long. A little bit more rain won't hurt us.
Unfortunately.
Well, with the unofficial start of the summer, we also...
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a very good, happy Monday and Memorial Day evening to you once again. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed. Thankfully, today was the nicest of the trio of holiday weekend days with a lot of sunshine, and temperatures was still a little bit below average, but only by 2 degrees as opposed to last week where we were well below average. As far as that low temperature, the 40 degrees, that's a full 10 degrees below average and within 4 degrees of the record. And today's record high, 93 degrees, set back in 2020. We weren't anywhere near that, but we did get some substantial rainfall here in the Utica-Rome area, about ½ an inch, just shy of it. But as far as the next couple of days goes, what we'll be talking about is those showers and storms coming to an end this evening, and we will see clearing skies out there as well, especially once we get past midnight. And then it'll be dry and in the mid-70s during the day tomorrow with more sun in the morning, more clouds in the afternoon, with showers returning once we get into Wednesday afternoon, unfortunately. Right now, we do have mainly clear skies in downtown Utica, where it's 48 degrees. The winds out of the east as of the 11 o'clock hour at 3 miles an hour, and those dew point and that feels like temperature are both at 48. There could be a little bit of fog in the Mohawk Valley as well as close to Lake Ontario, but no precipitation to speak of. That the reason for the fog is because that temperature and the dew point, as I just showed you, are really close. And you'll notice that we have that storm system from over the weekend and last week departing off into the North Atlantic, but down toward the southwest, we're already starting to see some clouds build our way, and those will move our way tomorrow afternoon before the rain moves in on Wednesday. So overnight tonight, we'll have temperatures down into the 40s. So another chilly night ahead of us. As we go through the day tomorrow, we'll see temperatures in the middle and upper 60s to the lower and middle 70s. So right where they should be for this time of year, give or take a couple of degrees. And then we will see mainly clear skies to start the day on Wednesday, but once again, increasing clouds and shower chances moving in as we head through the afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow, again, upper 60s to lower and middle 70s, right where they should be for this time of year. Again, give or take a few degrees. And then that rain moves in on Wednesday to the north and west. That looks like likely between about 3 to 6 p.m. down toward the south and east, and maybe a little bit later than that, give or take 5 to 9 p.m. So if you're going to get your lawn mowing done on Wednesday, I would do it in the morning or in the early afternoon. Tuesday looks like your best day. Thursday, a no-go because we could see a few rumbles of thunder in there. And then Friday, we'll see some sun, and other times seeing some of those showers. Temperatures, all of those days that I just mentioned, upper 60s to lower 70s, so a little bit below average except for tomorrow. And then we will see showers continuing into the weekend to close out the month of May, start the month of June with cooler temperatures, mid-60s, and then we will see for the first weekday of June a mix of sun and clouds and temperatures in the low 70s.
Well, at least the warm temperatures are finally here, Jordan.
At least the warm temperatures are finally here, and it looks like we'll hold on to them going into early June as well.
All right, thank you, meteorologist Jordan Reed there with our weather.